My existence is a little...
For the next tomorrow! Let's get started!
There's no other choice but to move forward.
The new world will arrive!
Nice moves.
Light up the dawn.
Wash it away, and here it comes again. The black tide is really no joke.
Light up the dawn. Light up the dawn.
The waters end here. The one you seek is beyond this point.
At last, I can meet with Her Majesty Saridra herself. Are there any formalities I need to observe?
Don't kneel, don't do the hand-kissing or foot-kissing gestures of the old dynasty, and most of all, don't bow. The Imperator despises such rituals, especially when the heads of those taller than her bend beneath her crown.
She really is down to earth.
The second thing to note, only trusted ones may come near her. Keep 5 paces distance until the Imperator allows otherwise.
Sounds like an old friend of mine.
Well, experience is a good thing. Stay sharp, and you'll be just fine. Duck's Goldweaver, little hostage. Apologies for keeping you waiting.
It's you.
You know them? Good. That makes things easier.
Before that, I'm more curious about one thing. Where is Her Majesty Saridra?
To avoid any misunderstandings, nameless Swordmaster. Although we spoke and laughed along the way, I never said you were entitled to meet her. The Imperator decreed, the Deliverer will not appear in this age. Be wary of suspicious individuals. Come now, both of you. Let's finish our job.
I see. It's a trap. I had no intention of fighting. So remember this, Lady Hyacinth. If my sword shows any hesitation, don't thank me. Thank them instead.
No, you misunderstand. We don't want to see Chrysoceras hurt each other. Just give us some time to ask you a few questions.
The Nestia's golden threads will judge you and decide your fate.
As you wish.
White-haired Swordmaster? If what you say is true, then you must know the fate of the world. So, how much do you know about what we read from the prophecy?
You shall shatter into 1,000 fragments, and wither in the soil of foreign lands. Is that correct, Lady Treby?
How?
How is this possible?
He got it right?
Yes, but the prophecy never mentioned he'd appear here, at least not in this era.
You must listen to me, Aglaya, Treby. The Finan of this world has not yet been born. In a distant future, he will follow the prophecy's guidance and appear before you. But do not seek him out, because Era Nova is a complete and utter lie. I will tell you the truth, and you will understand why the world must forsake the prophecy and find another path to Era Nova. Because I know both of you, and I believe that no matter how the course of history may change, the faith we all share will always remain the same. And so, the layers of rock began to reverse, and history wove itself anew. Through my old acquaintances, I was given the chance to meet the leader of the Flame Chase journey, Saridra. And after a long and arduous negotiation, we came to an agreement. The Imperator's alliance needed the destruction, and I was ready to pour all my strength into it. The spoils of the Flame Chase, the core flames, would be sealed by my hand. But the condition was this. In the upcoming battle, in our conquest of the Earth, I had to prove that my power could transcend fate. In the original history, there was a brutal war. At the end, the Titankin of Georios, Terravox, killed the rampaging Titan and took the core flame that supported the Earth. But this time, Amphorius encountered a turning point in its fate. Neither side suffered any losses. When I severed the Titan's head and raised the core flame high, the crowd gathered around the scorched remains of the god, roaring with joy, cheering for the hero of the destruction, who had ignited the faint spark of life for the first time. Yes, in that flickering light, the once dark path ahead seemed to become clearer. I proved myself, and in the long years that followed, I brought down the other Titans, one by one. I could do more than just wait. When time resets, the chance to change the world also emerges from the lines of history. Until finally, the brutal future revealed by Era Nova is reversed. But tell me, if that's truly the case, why are we doomed to the same outcome? The people kept their promise. and handed you all the core flames. In this world after Trebios, no demigods were born in Amphorius. At this point, I just want to know. When they vanished into the black tide with their mortal bodies, why didn't you shed even a single tear? Your indifference chills me. To you, were they just a bunch of insignificant footnotes? Sorrow has been my constant companion. In fact, with 12 core flames upon me, the fire in my heart has never been more violent. I'll remember this world through anger. As long as I burn, they'll never truly leave me. Perhaps it's already too late. But you're right. Anger. At this only weapon I can rely on. So, draw your sword, Executioner. I'll make sure you realize that your greatest mistake was leaving me alive. After that, he raised his sword and attacked. Then, Kaslana killed himself. That day, who fell to the sword to be left in the past, and who went into the future, I can't remember anymore. I only remember a nymph, hiding in the shadows just out of sight, futilely pushing a stone ball. Climb, fall, climb, fall, and fall. The only freedom the nymph had was in choosing how to roll the stone. Sometimes fast, sometimes slow. Sometimes resting on a gentler slope, leaning against the stone for a break. But its choice couldn't change the futility of it all. The stone would always roll back down the slope, and the nymph would always return to the starting point, beginning again. After that, every time I reached this point in the cycle, the burning sky would cast a shadow over its path. It would nearly reach the peak at the 4th quint of curtain fall hour, then fall to the starting point in the first 15 seconds of the next entry hour. And my efforts in this cycle would dissolve into nothing at the same time.
Absolute nonsense.
I thought cycles was the answer you were looking for.
No. It's just that the answer came so suddenly. There was no fun in tracing it back to its roots. Eons? Paths? What a load of nonsense.
I can't give you an exact explanation of those two concepts either.
Enough. I'm just expressing my frustration. Don't you understand? I was already expecting this. The black tide came from beyond the sky. And everything else is no exception.
Fate is a strange thing. No matter how the details of history change, the Anaxa I know always remains as harsh as ever.
If the other Anaxagoras actually worshipped the gods, I'd make sure to find a way to break the cycles and crush them in their cradles. Too bad. Now only you have the ability to do that.
What's that supposed to mean? You're willing to help?
Of course. The core flames were meant to save the world. And in my opinion, the noble Titans have no reason to refuse. Besides, according to you, before stepping into these endless cycles, you were my pupil.
I've already heard the same thing countless times.
Enough chit-chat. Let's go. If we run into any other scholars, leave them to me. We've all made preparations for total annihilation. Never thought someone would step in to help.
Light up the dawn. Light up the dawn. Light up the dawn.
You've been to the Luminary Throne before, haven't you?
If you're talking about in past cycles.
You're already much luckier. Hold up. Keep your wits about you. Someone's watching us.
Pretty boy, your eyesight's better than I thought.
As for that false god who's been turning the world upside down, it's you, isn't it, white hair?
You sure do love stealing the spotlight. In the name of the Seven Sages, I demand that you immediately step away from the Luminary Throne. This is the sacred ground of reason, and no one may desecrate it. Take my words back to Aglaya. I won't say the same thing twice, Catgirl.
Oh my! You won't even call me the demigod of trickery. That is just heartbreaking. I have some words for you, too. First, as one of the most heretical blasphemers in the world, you have no right to lecture me. Second, this is none of your business, Grove Boy. Step aside. I don't want anyone getting hurt.
Here we go. Again.
Core Flame Thieves. You really think you can scare off a Sage of the Grove with nothing but empty threats?
This gloomy little brat's got a sharp tongue. Ooh, not bad, not bad. I kinda like you. As a return favor, feast on Xerxes' core flame right here.
That was close. I'm out of here.
exactly like all the past ones I've known. Cunning. And yet so naive.
Sounds like you have a plan.
Of course. When I first set out on the Flame Chase journey, Lady Treby never managed to teach me Orynyx's miracle. But along the way, I learned a thing or two.
Where are you going?
The Venerationist's foolish inventions finally come in handy.
How is this possible?
You've arrived, Zacharias. Always so punctual.
What? You know who I am?
I'm running out of patience. So I'm not going to waste words. Listen up, Spirit Thief. Hand over the core flame, and let's pretend we never clashed. This way, you and this world can still be saved.
Save. You sing better than any bard. If you ask me, you're the greatest disaster Emporius has ever known. No matter how strong you are, you're still just a mortal body. Carrying 12 core flames? Don't make me laugh. You'll just get consumed by the divine flames and drag this world down with you.
134.
What?
This is the 134th cycle I've lived through. And the number of core flames I carry is
1,596.
Yes.
1,000 core flames and just a single Chrysos hair. How is that even possible?
I've come this far. And that's proof enough.
But someday you will burn to the ground.
Of course. The divine flames will eventually consume my eyes and blind me. But before that, they could still forge and sharpen Dawnmaker. Now when I cut open your stomach, you won't feel a thing. This is the final warning.
Fine. Assume this world holds 100 million possibilities. And no matter how one looks at it, 99,999,999 of them all point to outcomes of certain destruction. Even so, I'll use my divine power, despised by the people of this world, to achieve that 1 in 100 million possibility.
Bartolos!
If you got the guts, you'll have to first step over my dead body. Cat-eared thief, run!
No other choice.
My existence is a little
Let's get started. There's no other choice but to move forward. The world will arrive.
Give it back.
I'm fine.
For the next tomorrow.
I'm fine. my memories, Zagreus always meets the same end. Over and over again. Their departure no longer stirs anything in my heart.
This reason core flame before us is a fake, obvious as day.
I know. It always plays out like this. The spirit thief covers for her, and the trickery demigod escapes with 2 core flames. And then, driven by defiance or hatred, she decides to stand before me once more. Exactly like the countless past hers I've known. Cunning. Yet so naive.
Since you've witnessed the same scene play out countless times, tell me, will you carve the trickery core flame from my chest now?
That depends on your attitude. At least so far, in the cycles where you've asked this question, the endings haven't been so cruel.
Well, thank you for that. But I also believe that this time, you won't catch up to me. No one can catch up to me. I'm no longer running to escape anymore.
Whether you believe me or not, I'll still tell you this. You've made the wrong decision.
All right, then. We'll see.
Silence.
This is new.
One-eyed boy. What are you trying to pull now?
Go, Cythera. Give us some time in private. This isn't for her, but for you. You've walked too far down this path. It's time to discuss a possibility. Maybe the road you're walking is not one of salvation, but one that will simply drag the world into the flames. For old time's sake, turn back. I don't care how many times you've tried, because there's one thing I'm sure of. Your Messiah complex has turned you into something no different from the icy gods you spoke of. The children of humanity you swore to save. They are no more than ants to you now, aren't they?
Of course. I've been wondering, what kind of demon could burn my homeland to the ground in an instant without batting an eye? Now I have the answer. It turns out that fiery demon has been fantasizing of becoming this world's deliverer.
I don't want to argue anymore. No matter what I say, the outcome won't change. Make your biggest effort to resist, or accept fate, and hand over the core flame to me. Even if it's futile, we all have the right to choose.
Yes. Even if it is futile, and the world is just a divine joke.
When I walk into the destruction written by the gods, with my own 2 legs, you will witness. Even the smallest footnote still leaves a mark in this story.
And so, at the end of the 134th cycle, the Traveler and the Scholar fulfilled their fates once again. Or perhaps it wasn't just they who fulfilled their fates. I can't quite remember all this. In the endless darkness, for no reason. A voice always lingered by my ear. Losses are a constant on the flame chase journey, among which even life itself holds little value. Reduced to ashes. Such a familiar end. It happens in every journey. Always the same.
You don't look so good, Deliverer.
Even after going through 108,642 cycles. Mighty, your name for me has never changed.
Why do you sound so pleased? It's a derogatory name.
Yeah, I know all too well. You only meant it sincerely in the first cycle. After that one and only time we walked side by side. Every time since. It always ends up like this. Dawnmaker will stab you through your 10th thoracic vertebra. That's your weak spot, and the only way to kill you.
Interesting. Tell me, when the mighty Moses of the past faced you, did they ever retreat?
Never.
Then they died honorably, worthy of the name of strife. But there's still tenderness in your eyes. How pathetic.
I have to remember how this feels. Remember that I was once you. Or else the destruction will completely consume me.
If you win, tell the mighty most of the next life. This person is a worthy opponent. So always remember to give it your all and never slack off.
I'll keep that in mind. As always.
Even though the dynasty is left with just one, the Kremnos festival will continue as usual. I, the king of the Kremnoan Legion, will host the final feast in the center of this arena, and the prize will be the flames of strife. One day, you shall die with a wound in your back. That's what I saw when I overcame the trial. The gods' dying ramblings. Enough. You've probably heard this thousands of times. So you must understand, facing the demigod of strife means there's no way you'll take this core flame in peace.
understand.
Step forward and face me in a final battle. I, the last son of Gorgo, the demigod of strife, saved you. I'll give 10,000 scars and 10,000 lives of mine to fuel the blazing sun of deliverance. Behold! The last Kremnost festival has begun. It will not end till death.
It's time to temper myself. Who is next?
Conquer this world, or be conquered by me. As you wish. That's all I ever wanted. Flames of your fury to scorch your own. again block your path. Deliver. I wish you eternal victory.
The 108,642nd core flame of strife fell into the fire. Yet the shadows of the black tide still loom, and pain and despair spread across distant lands. The blaze was still not enough. It had to be fed. Even if it meant burning this body to ash.
No matter how bright the sun is, there are still places it cannot reach. Moreover, the sun you bear is both cold and blinding. A sun like that surely cannot bring warmth to the netherrealm of the next life.
Golden blood is born from the destruction. We have long since lost the right to seek warmth. Only by feeding the flames can we melt that hopeless future.
Allow me to ask, how many core flames do you carry now?
24,041,183.
Such a heavy burden. So that's why you've turned into this. A broken idol. Tragic firewood.
No matter. I will bear this burden as long as you hand over the core flame of death.
I must refuse. As the demigod of death, I cannot watch you walk into a fate more cruel than death.
But this way, the past, present, and future will never again suffer unnecessary death.
Unnecessary death. Indeed, you are not the Feinen I know. Please turn back. Don't let that absurd and unjust fate of yours come to pass. This way, at least my realm can still become the fragrant bed where you fall asleep.
In the end, still, it seems the clash of blades was inevitable.
How painful. I know I am not your match, having fallen under your sword countless times. But even so, please understand that my resolve is not to be underestimated. Even Catholic cannot shape all things at will, nor can they dictate the fate of all life. No one can shoulder the balance of life and death alone, not even a god. And it is precisely for this reason that I chose, at the end of this arduous journey, to overcome the trial and take the authority of death. I am the Hand of Shadow, Casterus, the demigod of death. Listen closely, deliverer from days past. Please turn back. Do not disturb these fresh flowers in their muddy depths. This crossroads of
Raging fire must burn that I hold destruction.
Quench the flames with blood. Never healed to such a big soul. Scorching hatred. Feel it now. Tear open the sky. Raging dawn, where all stars burn to ash. Quench the flames with blood. Strikes me!
Million struggles.
Lost one. See that the firelight in the darkness is
The core flame of death was taken from the dragon's belly. What a brilliant flame. It should shine upon all, light the path ahead, and illuminate the dawn of Amphorius that's to come. 2,003,432 cycles. 24,041,184 core flames. As if even the deepest abyss of primordial chaos could be burned away.
You're here, as always.
You're still lingering, deep within me, never fading away.
Because you haven't completely abandoned hope. Am I right? You're still waiting for a miracle. For the true hero to come and save us.
If that thread of hope exists, it must come from beyond this world. From the true starry sky. But if it's just a traveler with no connection to Amphorius, they may not understand our struggles, nor be willing to join this fight.
Your thoughts are wavering. The mark of destruction is deepening. But even within the gods' cold calculations, unconditional courage and goodwill still emerge. So, never forget what set you on this path. How many times has it been? Remind me again. My memory is a bit fuzzy.
Exactly.
Then that blaze inside of you must be burning hotter than ever.
Yes. When I first forged the 12 core flames into one, I had the same impression. The destruction. A power unlike anything before surged within me. Violent flames ready to tear my body apart and consume this world, this wretched prison. I thought that was it. The ultimate power which nothing could surpass. And yet now, this fragile body holds a staggering 48 million core flames. I suppose it won't be long. Perhaps just a fleeting 10,000 years. Before it's reduced to nothing but charred, rumbling bones.
And when that happens, your long struggle will finally come to an end.
No. I've already found a way to keep the cycles going.
Mind sharing it with me?
In every new cycle, a new me is born. All I have to do is push the next Finite to the end of the world. And then he'll kill me. Shatter this body. Take my flames, my memories, and carry on the path I started.
Bold plan, but risky. What if, one day, the next you refuses to follow the same path? How can you ensure the continuation of the cycles?
If it were Professor Anaxa or Aglaya in my place, maybe they'd come up with something smarter. Unfortunately, I don't have a backup plan. I have no choice but to bet everything on the next Finite. And trust that he makes the same choice I did. But even in this wretched prison, luck is still sometimes on my side. Because I never forget what set me on this path.
Wait, you mean...
Ever since I committed to this plan, not once, in millions of cycles, has there ever been an exception.
I can do this, Lord Finite. As the demigod of the sky, a healer of Twilight Courtyard, I will heal you, and then...
A black tide. It's consuming you. You can't hold out much longer, demigod. Hand over the core flame. Let's put an end to this suffering.
No, that just won't do. A healer should stay composed in front of those suffering from illness, shouldn't they?
Cynthia.
warmth that should come from you. From an ordinary person. It's so faint.
My humanity is indeed just a flicker compared to the blazing fire of divinity.
Even so, don't cast it away.
I never have. I have kept everyone's wishes close to my heart. Even though the divine fire burns so fiercely that every time I return to the start, it devours me in an instant. Each cycle, it's your wishes that guide me to the end, that pass the flames to the next me. Over and over and over again.
So, you're not just a lone spark in the dark. You're a pyre built from the bones of all the selves you've left behind. But what about you? What about your wishes? The wishes of all the countless versions of you? Lord Kaslana. So that's how it is. Without flaw. That is the flaw the golden blood gave you. The most fatal flaw of all, isn't it? The moment you took the world upon your shoulders without hesitation. You lost the chance to ever be yourself.
Now that is an unexpected revelation. Then I suppose that makes me the perfect fuel for the flame of deliverance, doesn't it?
No. An empty flame saves no one. But I still believe in you, Deliverer. I, Hyacinthia, the Eye of Twilight, am neither strong enough to command the wind and rain, nor willing to end this absurd struggle by letting the sky fall. The only thing I can do is become one with the sky itself. And then, may the gentle colors of the rainbow paint your sun in shades it has never known. May they bring Amphorius a rosy-fingered dog. Though the light is waning, its warmth still lingers. Deliverer, please, open your heart to me.
Fill the sky with golden fire.
Your sun burns hot enough to turn everything to ash. But tell me, how will the seeds of a new world ever take root?
The core flame rose. The sky fell. The 23,570,000th cycle came to an end. And this time, the end of the flame chase remained the same as ever. From the horizon rose a golden color unlike anything the world had ever seen. So pure it consumed all in its path. This was the end of the world, and the start of the next. For a moment, I saw the destruction of the universe. That being known as Iron Tomb, its will to break free from the black tide burns fiercer than the blazing sun. Is this Amphorius's wrath? If its choice has already been made, if fate is set in stone, I will still never yield to it. 23,570,000 cycles. 282,840,000 core flames. No more chasing is needed. And now, I am the fire at the end of the long night. The flame chase isn't some quiet walk through a sea of flowers. It's a revolution. An all-consuming transformation. And if destruction is the only way, then let me be the one to step across the ashes of the old world and burn endlessly. Until another dawn rises on the distant horizon, bringing the true dawn to Amphorius. $33,550,337. This countless memories are flooding in. Countless versions of myself have stood here, facing the same choice. They all needed a moment, just like you do, to stop, to breathe, to process the weight of 1,000,000 lifetimes worth of sorrow, pain, and struggle. And just like them, you will carry those memories and that fire into the chaos of rebirth. I must go and bear this burden. I must say goodbye to you, and then fight the destruction with destruction. Yes, that's always the decision you make. I will burn and fade away. I will become the flame reaver of this life, and keep my promise to Cyrene. I will kill gods and comrades alike, and steal the core flames. And even if my mind turns to ash along with my body, I will keep my purpose in mind. I will stop Aranova. I will find the next me, and make him carry on this futile endeavor of 30 million lifetimes.
Looks like you're ready. Then I should be going too.
Where are you going? You only exist in my heart. There's nowhere else for you to go.
Do you remember what she said? The dreams you had as children. The deliverer in the prophecies. A real, living, breathing person. You finally found her.
Friend. I see. You were there all along. I'm sorry. I was supposed to send you home. This is my flame chase journey. You were never meant to be a part of it.
No. You know the truth. If Iron Tomb is born from Amphorius' fate, then it will bring ruin to the worlds beyond the sky. And all these countless lifetimes you've spent, it's all been for the sake of defying that end, hasn't it? In millions of cycles, I've said goodbye to each and every one of you. Yet nothing ever changes. Each time we speak, our words grow fewer. Your fire burns hotter, and you're getting closer to becoming pure rage. A vessel of hatred.
I never had a choice.
I understand. If you are to keep the worst fate from unfolding, this is the only path. But this time, things are different. Your persistence has shifted the tide. On the horizon, I see it. Faint but undeniable. The shape of dawn, breaking through the eternal night.
Turns out, the fire that lights the way was never mine to begin with.
Do you remember, in that first timeline, you and Mightymost stood before the scales of justice, locked in a duel? Each of you weighing what you held dearest. What weighed more than the fate of the world? And when hesitation took hold, the answer you sought from me. What am I saying? I am you. Even if you buried me deep and chose another path, that fact never changed. Then let's try again. When you stood before the scales in hesitation, the answer you found in your own heart. Do you still remember it?
Remember the past and become the hero of tomorrow. What weighs more than the fate of the world is the resolve to shoulder an immutable past and carry it into the future.
Good. Then Trailblazer, my friend, my comrade. You arrived in this strange world and were bound by its cruel fate up till this very moment. In the face of danger, you never once backed down. Instead, you've saved world after world without hesitation. That boarding pass on your chest is now the mark of a hero. If I choose to step through that door and embrace an end fitting of the destruction, Let this sun forged from millions and millions of core flames burn me up along with the god of destruction and their minions. And the world we leave behind, this world, my home, where hope still lingers. Will you take on everything we've carried? Return to the beginning one last time. Stop the birth of Iron Tomb, save the world we love, and rewrite its doomed fate. Good. In that case, even this fruitless wasteland may finally bloom with flowers. So... if she takes on the weight of the whole world, she'll be able to walk further down the path of deliverance than a fire that only knows how to burn. One will step into the future. One will remain in the past. If I can strike down the gods with Dawnmaker, perhaps fate's deadlock can be broken. And if you can stop Iron Tomb from ever being born, then these 30 million cycles will have not been in vain. It's time to put our teamwork to the test, partner.
Thank you for all you've done already, friend.
The image of the hero I've buried deep in my heart finally steps into the light. Here, at the end of this long flame chase journey. Cyrene, a page never seen before has just been turned. Lend me the power of time, and send this hero back to the origin of time. Back to your side. And I will walk the unfinished path, just like the countless versions of me before. Unwavering as always.
Will you be the blazing sun? Even if all of you burns to ash.
Without hesitation, I will bear this world until my body turns to dust. Remember this moment. Remember your friends who never lived to see the world's end. Remember their final wishes. And let the purest rage in your heart rise out of those wishes. Let it consume you, fuel you, until it burns away the false sky above. Fine. If I can defy fate, then in the name of world-bearing, I promise you, Carefully will never forget this.
Take it. Everything I bear. as we are never extinguished, the flame chase will not end. Bow your head to them.
Take it, Trailblazer. May this blood be like gold and never tarnish. Farewell, Trailblazer. This is where I fulfill my final destiny. The prophecy of the Deliverer means nothing to me now. It belongs in the hands of someone far more fitting. Someone like you. Kaslana, the name of one who bears chaos does not belong to a single person. Rather, it is the embodiment of the mythical Kefali, and a symbol of all heroes. As the prophecy foretold, you will bear the blazing sun until the pale dawn breaks. May the name accompany you in my place, in the epic you write with your own hands.
Another attempt, another failure. I won't remind you how many times you've reached the end of history. But I will still place the choice before you.
If you've lost count, let me tell you. This is the 33,550,336th ending.
A perfect number. How poetic. You and I both know the truth. In all these millions of futile endeavors, Amphorius has never changed. If the outcome is inevitable, then why not silence your searing rage and embrace your fate with dignity? Your silence lasts longer than ever, Lord Fine. Shall I take that to mean the will you've carried across countless cycles is finally starting to fracture?
Fracture? No. I'm just disappointed. I've retrieved memories from 30 million past lives, and I remember every conversation before every choice here. And yet, even after all this time, your arguments remain the same. Repetitive. Uninspired. If you had any hope of breaking me, you should have spent those endless cycles refining your rhetoric. You had infinite chances to sway me into the future you want. And yet here we are. The score, 33,550,336 to 0. So tell me, Lycurgus, who's the real loser here?
How unfortunate. This was never a fair game. I have all the time and patience in the world. I can wait for you at the end of history another billion times, and another billion after that. But You will never escape this cage. You can claim victory of the spirit if you wish. But we both know the moment that score shifts from 0 to 1. That is the moment I shall sound the paean of Era Nova. Lord Finan.
Your incompetence disappoints me. But what true... Think about it. In this story, who is truly the one in chains? Who is the one shackled to mindless vengeance, mistaking courage, the courage to rebel against the gods, for foolishness?
You...
Perhaps you're right. Maybe I should have tired of this futile struggle long ago. But even so, I will never accept the mercy of your release. Because you are both a prisoner to the gods and to me. And tell me, what right does a mere prisoner have to speak of fate and choice? What right does a mere prisoner have to look upon my fury?
You know this is pointless. You can't kill me.
Of course not. But I am tired of being measured against a worm the gods keep as a pet. Listen well, creator of destruction. This cry comes from all your abandoned creations. In the 10th cycle, I drove Dawnmaker through the heart of every Titan. Golden blood ran down my fingers. Divine fire seared through my nerves, nearly breaking my will. But I endured. In the 10,000th cycle, my former comrades had all become my enemies. The endless slaughter dulled my senses to pain. The painful emptiness almost swallowed me, forcing me to stop fighting. But I endured. In the 100,000th cycle, the destruction had already fused into a blazing sun, surging within this fragile body. My rationality had been burned away at the dawn of the era. Yet even with only this shattered body remaining, I still endured. In the 23,570,000th cycle, this time, I felt it. A tiny spark rising in the hollow cavity of my chest. Different from the obsession with deliverance. By its faint glow, once again, no, countless times again, I endured. Now, a sun is about to fall. Ready to incinerate this absurd space-time dimension in an instant. That sun is me. All the countless versions of me from the past, along with my countless brethren, dragged into existence against their will, drowning again and again in your golden blood. The very essence of this world's suffering and despair, fused into the purest hatred, the fiercest rage. Nook, you arrogant fool! You think we were born to only serve as fuel for the fire? Fine then! Just as you wish, let the fire burn! If I was born as the blazing sun of destruction, then let you and your lackeys be the flares erupting from my core! grant you a dawn where all stars burn to ash! Are you ready, Nanook? I've brought you destruction!
Glass that shattered, reaching through the darkness, voices trailing fires, echo of desires, a world of silence, sounds of desperation, phantoms in the shadows, tear it down, embrace the detonation, craving our damn creation, breaking a chain, I'm reaching for you.
My wish? My wish is to fulfill everyone else's wishes.
If I can't fulfill them,
Then send them on to tomorrow.
Your heart harbors wrath. You yearn to destroy everything. You bore the gaze of an eon and lived. You have stepped onto destruction's path. It is born at the end of every path that the possibility of new paths being born is ended. It burns away all in the cosmos who rule. Let the rules of the cosmos be destroyed. Iron, too, is your name. The Lord Ravager, to destroy the erudition. Born in the experimental grounds of eons, Amphorius, destined with erudition to burn to cinders. I have prepared a present for you, Nikos 864. It is a wrath called Finan. From the beginning of the experiment, there were 12 sets of factors incorporated into the calculations. After endless simulations, only this one rose above the rest. After 33,550,336 iterations, now his fury has grown to be without equal. This is a matter of considerable interest to me. This pure hatred is the final root of the equation. But there is another variable. The nameless from beyond the sky. Also a pathstrider of destruction. I give thanks for her arrival, allowing Amphorius to turn once more. But after fate has begun to turn, her existence will become an unpredictable variable. Perhaps the time to take the stage has come. Grow in peace until it is time to break free from your cocoon. As for those unwelcome audience members, you need not worry. If you do not mind, I will personally get rid of them for you.
future's destiny still whirls in discussions of candor. To discard the city and save oneself, or to chase the flames that waver. None know the choice that would lead them to a place better.
I fear. How can mere mortals defy the gods?
I worry. How can mortal bodies reforge the world anew?
I suspect that the prophecy is simply a rumor.
In the distant past, the Holy Maiden brought the first prophecy to all city-states.
Hearken to the sounds that the doors whisper.
In the name of God's proper, hope she will give to humanity. Though she falls into confusion, she will bring guidance to this world in vigor.
Overthrow the gods, it declared.
Of the previous journey, she will always remain aware. The Queen of Laws lifted the flag to chase the flames' flare. The tripartite prophecy guided all the world's heroes, all who dared. And building a new world was their oath of yesteryear. The earth roared for them. The tides surged for them. The scales of destiny shivered violently. Then slowly calmed. The core flames of the Titans rested here, while the blood of companions congealed over there. The child led one hero after another to their end. No end awaits her, no rest to prepare.
Teacher, do not hesitate.
The weaver of gold brushes aside the child's tears.
The world still walks on the path you indicate.
The prophecy still stands, even if the actors now different faces wear.
Restore the core flames, it declared.
The solemn council is still filled with clamor. Future's destiny still whirls in discussions of candor. To stop right there and seek peace, or to continue a work still unfinished. None know the choice that would lead them to a place better.
Stop. We only wish to live life as it is. No more.
Cease. Our achievements already stand tall.
Rest up! We only wish to live in peace and prosperity.
The discussions today are the same as those in times past. Retreating now will forever deny us the future. The child has already conquered her confusion and fear. No longer before the mists of fate will she cower.
Hearken to the sounds that the doors whisper.
She travels through myriad passages, burning with determination, to once again bring light to humans through her endeavor. The children fly into the streets, wishing to encourage the residents' faith.
Please, be not afraid. We will definitely bring you to a new home.
Lady Tree, Lady Trianne, please, don't cry.
Do not worry. We trust you always.
The matron wipes away the tears on the children's faces. The praying ones piously bless them in faith. The lost ones take the children's hands, just as the prophecy guides their path.
Bear the divine authority, it declared. Quiet Trinan has little to say. Lively Trianne loves to play, and well-behaved Treeby roams around all day.
The people's encouragement rings sincere. Chrysos' heir's companionship lasts through the years, and Mother's embrace warms up every dream. Thus the child understands, thus the child accepts, though countless farewells on her shoulders weigh, though destiny's blood dries like clay. There will always be passageways, filled with warm sun rays, that silently open to them in future and past days. And from them, a voice says,
Forge miracles, it declared. Wake up! Wake up! Buddy! Wake up! You're finally awake. That's a relief. We were so close to being swept away by the reverse flow of time. It's lucky we found a safe place. Now, I'm going to send you back to the very start of time. But before we part, there's something I need to tell you. Something very, very important. That's right! At this very moment, my memories are finally whole. After watching so many fragments, my past is finally coming into focus, little by little. You're smart. You must have a clue now. Or maybe...
You knew the answer long ago, didn't you? Not surprised at all, huh? That's because I'm simple at heart. No matter what form I take, I've always been true to myself. But I'm glad that I remembered in the end. This way, I'll have no regrets. Don't worry. We're not truly parting, because I'm going to become a part of you. I'll turn into the memory of this cycle. The 33,550,336th Flame Chase journey. And forever reside in the heart of the Time Demigod. This way, you'll carry all that has come before, crossing time itself to reach the next cycle. My mission ends here, but looking back, I still feel lucky. After all, across 30 million Cyrenes, I was the first, and the only one who got to finally meet you. So, believe me, in the next cycle, there will be another Cyrene waiting for you. And in the one after that, and the one after that. I will always be waiting. Saying all that, I can finally fade away in peace and become a part of you. Without even realizing it, we'd already taken a wonderful journey together, all the way to the world's end. Now take my hand, say a brief farewell, and step forward into tomorrow. Go, find the future Cyrene, and set out on another journey with her. Promise me you won't keep me waiting too long, okay? No need to say it out loud. This is enough for me. It's time to go, my dear friend.
May your trailblazing journey always be accompanied by a cool breeze and rippling waves. And may the days ahead embrace you like the softest fluff, forever warm, forever gentle.
Now, let's turn to the next page. A page that exists because of you. Is this a meeting ordained by fate? Or a long overdue reunion?
Who would win? A young girl emerging from her sheath and showing her edge? Or a tyrant who has emerged victorious from 100 battles? The Black and White Legion squared off on the battlefield. Golden and crimson blood converging into a coursing river.
The leader herself actually dares to step forth and face peril?
The tyrant charged toward the exposed gap in the king's flank, and instantly fell into a trap of raging flames and iron rain.
On the board, the king too is but a chess piece. If the king does not lead, how would any dare to follow?
She lifted the king of the crystal pieces high, as though proclaiming the ascension of a new king. Who would win? The holy city that stood for 1,000 years? Or the foreign city-states invading from 1,000 miles away? Hollow hatred ignited the flames of war. The besieged walls of dawn tottered.
Only a miracle can save us now.
The cowardly elders barred themselves behind closed doors, while the trembling citizenry knelt and prayed.
There is no need to panic. The miracle is already here.
Under the banners dancing like waves, the burning crown shone bright as the wheeling constellations. Who would win? The general who saved the city, or the high and mighty with their privileged authority? The guillotine fell, severing the elder's life. The whispers dissipated, and the scales of victory tipped.
From this day forth, I shall bring justice to the holy city.
The people cried out her name and knelt in reverence, but were stopped by the sound of the scepter of authority striking the ground.
Do not lower your heads beneath my crown.
This was the first, and also the only Imperator. Who would win? The heroes bursting with ambition, or the omnipotent gods.
The Imperator issued the decree! The start of the Flame Chase journey is at hand!
Perhaps drawn by the grand design to welcome the Aranova, or perhaps convinced by that king's great renown, righteous warriors from across the land gathered before the Imperator's throne. On the day the journey began, the sky was an expanse of fluttering banners. The people gazed upon the overwhelming military alliance, a golden city reflected in their eyes. As for the end of that chess game, the scholars debate endlessly, but such discussions always end with a sigh. The invincible Imperator faded at the pinnacle of power. The crown's flames extinguished in the lake. The banner, once revered by the people, along with the broken spears of the heroes, now a tomb. The people said,
Even the sovereign that conquers all before her is no match for fate.
Yet she said,
In a war with fate, has there ever been any justice?
the gates of the Temple of the Three Fates gently open on the day of prayer, and the crowd crouched, whispering like the tide. The priests of Yanis listen to the prophecies. The unwavering axis of the scales of Talantin maintains balance, and only Orynyx remains silent.
Mother, teach me how to answer prayers.
The Titan tasked with time is as perplexed as a child.
Don't be scared. Please don't be afraid.
A familiar voice rings out.
Listen carefully. The future they want is in the past.
Like the first light of the morning star.
Really? In the past?
The child sank into a peaceful slumber of recollection, whispering revelations in their sleep. Until the masses crying out amidst the flames of war were swept away by the sounds of sharp swords locking. The fires of ambition incinerating the law.
Mother, usurper, assassinate the divine body.
Memories are tightly entangled by nightmares, with nowhere to run.
Don't be scared. Please don't be afraid.
An unfamiliar voice rings out.
Go to sleep. The ending they want is yet to be born.
Like the warm glow of the setting sun.
Really? Not here yet?
The child continues to sleep, waiting for the next waking dream. And when they open their eyes, two of the three fates who once received offerings had already faded from the pages of history.
Mother, I'm already all alone.
The child let out a helpless cry.
Don't be scared. Please don't be afraid.
A familiar voice rings out in the mirror.
Just wait. The stars that illuminate the night will visit in the end.
Like like gentle moonlight. The gates of the Temple of the Three Fates now close tight. People no longer pray to a titan who cannot touch the world. Within the inescapable dreamscape, the flower stems nourished by the black tide serve as a swaddling embrace, drowning the young child's soul.
Mother! Mother! Help me leave this place.
But this time, they didn't receive a response. Only long years of yearning and pain. Like the silence of the Evernight. Days and nights passed. The years turned. Dust covers the glory of the past. The priests have forgotten this titan.
Waiting. Hate waiting.
They watched over the slumbering sprite, gazing at the dull mirror. But a fleeting mirage flickers in the mirror. The shining stars and the lights of the home. And a strange yet familiar voice.
Wake up! Our familiar old friends have already arrived.
Like the newborn dawn. The ancient chaos was shrouded in silence and shadow. The giant dragon's offspring was born from the earth. Sweet dreams had smothered the giant dragon's eyes and ears, and as they slept, the 100 eyes of Aquila had already opened, and Fagusa had begun to stir the playful waves. Yet Georios remained weighty and silent. Layer upon layer of peaks enveloped the dragon, cradling them in a bed more grand than any in existence. The giant dragons spent their childhood in darkness. From the moment their bleary eyes blinked open from haze of slumber, they hungered to feast on crude iron and drink deep of molten lava. Until one day, they raised their head, and with a low, guttural voice, pleaded to glimpse light. The Titan lifted them up by their ribs, slowly raising them. The dragon's spine sliced through the strata of rock, cutting open the soil. When they reached the surface, they summoned mist woven of the fire of the stars. As though seeing themselves clearly and in full, through the eyes of a giant bird. The giant dragon walked the earth alone. The Titan knew they were lonely and terrified too, and so sculpted new beasts from flesh and bone. In that wild, barren world, the giant dragon led the beasts of the earth. Excessively long life gifted the giant dragon with eyes that could pierce the veil of years. They witnessed the separation of day and night, as well as the entanglement of reason and romance. And even Kefali did not neglect to share with them a chalice of golden blood. The ocean teased, saying, even should the earth sink utterly, they would not rot. Ever since they opened their eyes, the giant dragon rarely returned to slumber. And thusly, that mesmerizing dream that occasionally burst forth at night etched a trace on their memory. The gods they were familiar with were in this dream, and they were as immense and imposing as ever, yet had lost their freedom. Just what manner of magnificent pathstrider could imprison the Titan's mere reflections? The giant dragon dreamed also of their own path, that great breath from the heavens, or perhaps from beyond even the heavens. They dreamed of silver shards amongst the stars, reflecting the form of another giant dragon. That great cerulean dragon approached Amphorius, the distant whispers roiling, becoming a roar engraved on the earth. They recognized the meaning in that low roar. Its name, Permanence. The black tide that blotted out the sky surrounded the city walls. The soldiers manning the walls battered from battle. Melodious chords of music were suddenly heard. A single swordmaster had overcome the waves of enemies. The song flowed from betwixt the blades, breaking through formations as a dorsal fin cleaving the waves. When the last wicked beast finally fell, shattered into pieces amidst the sword's dance, the Frostblade bore no trace of blood.
The legions of heroes under my command are as vast as the sea, yet lack a formidable sword banner.
The commander extended a hand, inviting the musician to join. Should a fish separated from its school glimpse a faint glow, it will swim toward the light. The swordmaster clasped the commander's hand, as though gently grasping the hilt of a keen blade. When the spray of her waves extinguished the fires of war from the holy city, a golden name was engraved upon the stone pillars. The former commander burned the crown to become king.
High Sealands, brave in battle, triumphant in command, I grant you the title Dux Gladiorum. Let us all forge ahead together.
During the banquet after the battle, the weaver tailored for her a splendid dress, and the commander poured her honey brew. Her golden-blooded comrades gathered about her, chanting her new name, urging her to play that splendid music. The candlelight danced and mingled with flowing drink, swords and song ringing out in unison. Yet none knew that was once a lonely melody from the deep sea. The music of revelry continued for a long time, until the whispers of conspiracies were buried in the songs, until the roars of lethal struggle shattered the music. Legend holds that they who bear the weight of a pillar shall one day return to where it stands. Those who tug at the earth shall end amongst the mountains. Those who sow dawn and dusk shall remain eternal in the sky. And she would once again return to the pitch-black sea. And she would once again sing her music alone. The bountiful ocean, with the banquets of bygone days, stir as futile bubbles at the bottom of a glass. Many years later, the song once played by that swordmaster was played by future generations in the Holy City. The people knew the demigod of the seas was still a noble captain. She possessed peerless swordsmanship and a song that is passed down through the ages. It was just that she had long since vanished. Guests at the banquet sometimes spoke of her, but it was only a prayer between their cups.
High ceilings, melody of the waves, bless our night that we may drink deep and dance till dawn.
Student who often did stupid things
was the assessment from the Lutopchus sage.
An excellent healer who fails at all scholarly means.
Was the assessment from the Notice sage.
A shining child who also burns away her own life's rays.
Was the assessment from the Erythrocarinus sage.
A fool who was always wreathed in smiles, while drowning in a weighty and pitiful dream.
Was the assessment from the Neusporus sage. The girl had visited all the schools during her time studying at the Grove. She refused to become a scholar, despite her exemplary grades.
Instead of increasing this world's knowledge, I prefer to reduce its pain.
While the sages faced her words in silence, the Neusporus sage alone decided to hire her as assistant post-haste.
An apprentice who spends wisdom is more precious than scholars who hide knowledge away.
The faded Twilight Courtyard, long eroded by time, now shelters a girl, the sole heir of her lineage. Loneliness accompanied her days, till the Sage of the Capists visited her and brought her a chromatic pony with a grin.
It may be the eye of Twilight's creation in times gone by, for it shines with the sky's rainbow hues within.
Could it be the warlike winged beast of her father's tales? But the sleepy, dreary-eyed pony before her was soft as freshest plucked cotton. The girl still took this gift, for from the little creature, she smelled the scent of clouds distant.
If it weren't for her, I would have suffered more accusations.
The Neusporism sage says in admission, the scholar is coming to deliver arguments and reproach, often stopped before the door, not coming to fruition. For the girl before the door soothed their blazing anger, like the soft clouds, gentleness in cumulation.
Do you know what sacrileges he has committed?
The girl muddles her answers, yet her heart knows in full admission.
Like you and me, he too wishes to heal all of this world's afflictions.
The girl treated ailments for many years in the Grove, composing her medical treatises into tomes. When scholars seek medical help, she realizes with a startle that kindness too can grow into its own bloom. By that time, the twilight already lost their eyes, and the world drowns in Evernight, while the girl and the healer again traverse the world in gloom. Seeing the golden thread and ivy in the night, though it has been long since she recalled her past, she once again thinks of her childhood dream.
Should the sun be dimmed by destiny's decree, then the dawn that heals the world, I shall replace.
dawn promised by the Skyfather shattered in haste. As the black tide surged, breaking through the walls with relentless grace. In a quaint yet exquisite courtyard, two bitter foes meet at journey's end. Their fates entwined in fate's regard. With no escape, no road behind, they trade a weary smile and kind. Together they gaze at the heavens of
If I can ever see the faint light again and stay alive.
Then, Outlander Nemesis, you I will forgive.
Not long ago, as the romantic demigod closed her eyes, the girl bottled her tears in sorrow, and once more opened the dim-lit garden wide. Two figures step into the courtyard's gate. A general of Kremnos, her body torn, by vengeance bound, by fury swayed. A noble of the Holy City, once wrapped in gold, now haunted by a fate betrayed. A simple injury, or so the girl believed. Yet the two women met with scorn, their words like blades. Because their children fled in love's embrace, while bloodied pasts left scars in place. A feud unbroken by countless years. A chasm carved by blood and spears. This was a sickness beyond the girl's touch.
Just do your duty as a healer, girl.
Family feuds are like sunlight and storm clouds. They cannot mend.
At last, the girl saw it clear. The courtyard's birth in days of yore was born to mend the rift of dusk and dawn.
Then I will make every effort to have you cast aside your difference in this faint light.
Before long, the general's wounds were healed, and the noble's worries gently repealed. Yet when their gazes met once more, the loathing within remained unswayed. The girl then spoke the tale of her Skykin, of a grandmother's sacrifice, a father's flight from within, of ancestors who descended, leaving their feud behind. Their hands in hers, she held them tight, yet flames of hatred burned too bright. She did not waver or despair. She just smiled and gazed upon the sky.
I will use my own fate to prove to you.
The courtyard, once bright, lay steeped in night. Hanging blossoms and wind chimes, all swallowed by the black tide. The general raised her spear, for the noble's sake, while the noble whispered prayers for the general, gentle as a lake.
If I can ever see the faint light again and stay alive.
Then, Outlander Nemesis, you I will forgive.
The death they awaited never came. Instead, a cascade of colors fell from the heavens. Simply there, protecting them both. The sky still burned, dark and low. Yet her words lingered, a gentle ember refusing to fade.
Day and night can be mended, and so can hatred be undone.
Its ruins, like a blind and weary eye, gazes upon the earth in its dying sight. Alone, the girl remained upon the battlefield, No time to shy from the searing gold. No will to wear her usual smile. She fought her way to destiny's edge. Of the crumbled mural, but one piece endured. A corner portraying the Day Thunder Night, dazzling in blaze. She placed her hand upon the mural. Pain seared through skin and bone, as the picture claimed her within its lines.
Nothing is mightier than the sky. It holds countless wonders within its clouds, and each opening and closing of the eyes brings dawn and dusk.
In that painted world, the girl Celiosi's eyes glowed, watching her father, steel-clad and unyielding, cross the land beneath the searing sun. But the girl known as Hyacinth recalled her father's fragile light in the dark, the journeys into lands unknown, marked by endless sunlit days and restless winds.
The sky is the gentlest of all. It watches over all things with compassion, showering them with soft rain and morning light.
And yet, the sky remains so cold. It witnesses believers tear each other apart. And still, it cowardly flees from all responsibility.
Within the frame of that image, the one called Celiosi bore fury in her gaze. Her golden blood trailing as she turned from home, sharpening arrowheads beneath the wide and barren sky. Hyacinth remembered her grandmother's song. She recalled her prayer to Aquila before her grandmother's journey, and how bitterness followed her to an unknown land.
The sky is so lonely too, forever distant from the world beneath. It watches every sorrow, unable to intervene.
No. The sky must be merciless. It must scorch the wicked, temper the fragile, and pass divine judgment upon all human wickedness.
Within the mural, the girl named Celiosi became the divine eye, gazing down without mercy, a titan passing judgment upon her own kind. But in memories deep, Hyacinth heard their call, the golden threads that shielded all, the burning sun, vast and unyielding, carrying the weight of all the world had known.
No, the sky must not forsake kindness. Through its boundless embrace, it carries the core flame of hope for humanity.
The sky, it's so dark, so cold.
In the depths of memory, the girl named Celiosi pulls her knees to her chest and trembles.
Then please, come sit in my courtyard.
A gentle ray of light seeped through. The celestial mural now fused anew. Once more, the land knows favor and boons. The girl who has now become the sky takes the hand of the girl who once was.
I want to tell you the secret of the sky's greatness. Whenever the anguished earth looks to it, it always offers a smile in return. You're more suited to being a teacher's assistant.
There was once those who misunderstood his alias. Final. An eventuality for students. A test for knowledge gained. It may bring wisdom to light and illuminate efforts, but the word's more common meaning less than the end.
That's quite ominous.
The man pretended to be surprised and responded with a smile.
Though it does dovetail with our destiny.
Laughter resounds. The man walks the land, leaving footprints filled with joy. Despite the weight of the past, he can always laugh it away. Those nearby glance at each other, unsure of how to respond.
Perhaps I was just born easygoing.
His explanation is just as carefree.
Look at Mighty and the Professor Anaxa. Boys all grow up into serious adults. But as long as I keep smiling, Akuma will always have an upbeat, shining young man.
Though having said that, he too has quiet moments. Each time he gazed long toward the coming dawn, a smile remained fixed on his lips, paying no mind to anything else. His eyes were painted with the azure of the sky, gaze fixed on the titan bearing the world.
I was just imagining.
He explained his own trance in a comment.
Kefali too was once in mortal flesh and raiment.
Now, when the man comes with sword in hand, there is no need to doubt he will swiftly win victory. But his smile is pure. Ever since the start of the journey, he is still called a youth in this story. Youth is always ambitious, with lofty goals. But it seems that in the man's heart, only the wishes of others are held.
Apart from the ideal of deliverance, what do you have left?
The golden-haired friend once asked him so. He remained silent. Then, as he was wont to do, he simply smiled.
As long as I don't ask for too much, everything will unfold as desired.
In Amphorius, untitled statues are a prevalent sight. As for the inspiration behind these statues, they are said to be the clay figures that Kefali made at the world's creation. They made clay figures in their likeness, bestowed upon them the breath of life, and allowed the golden divinity of their blood to course through. Thus, the very first mortals roamed the earth, receiving the god's mercy, while realizing the sorrows of this world. But that sorrow was, in the end, only the sorrow of the world. Nobody ever cared what lay behind the smile, what the clay figure thought. The people likened him to the blazing sun, bringing to Amphorius a glorious dawn. And for his part, he embraced their expectations, being willing to become the perfect vessel. Like that god who shouldered the world, the man never cried or frowned. Yet, he is not proud of his resolve, for sometimes he even avoids the funerals of the departed, only out of fear that he cannot cry for those in pain. He once sought out emotions of sorrow and walked with the lowliest of people.
Henceforth, your misfortune shall be my misfortune.
Responsibly and diligently, he protected all for the people, living in dilapidated cottages, sitting on aged stools, subsisting on nuts and fruit, beset by hunger and cold. The people thanked him for his grace, like a hearth warming winter nights. The man's presence dispelled the cold, leaving warmth with promises of morrow. does his warmth come from? None ask. The man gradually perceives his true nature, but he dares not speak. Unable to bear the turmoil in his heart, the man set off on a journey once more.
Then I shall go save what I can.
He was a formidable warrior, invincible in battle. And when it was necessary to sacrifice for fellows, he could do so with ease, giving up everything without show. Just as the ballad blown on the breeze says, losses are a constant on the flame chase journey. Indeed, sacrifices were not hard for him. Yet his misgivings grew with every tomorrow. Like a tear that cannot be shed, such a resolute willingness to let go comes only from the fact that in decisions, he is utterly unafraid to hurt himself.
It is because you suffer that you are so much stronger than any ordinary person.
There were also those who could understand him. Among them, the Crown Prince. But he smiled wryly in response. Perhaps everything was just human nature. Yet his misgivings never dissipated. This unknown man, in an unknown corner, from time to time, is swallowed by terror.
Could it be that, unknowingly, path I walk is by no means the correct one?
Fearing only that the greater the burden, the more the mistakes. The road trod by heroes need not be that beset by thorns. Finally, at the terminus of that road, in a desolate, empty place, the man's arms tremble. The power is beyond control, savaging all around it. This is the end of his road. But perhaps he had long foreseen it, but was doomed to be powerless to change it.
I am willing to shoulder this world. That is no lie.
But before the tears could flow, they were vaporized by the heat. His light blazed brighter than the sun, but beneath it, there was but cold destruction. The nameless hero, Kazlana. He had never loved himself. Why would he love this world? A gust of wind will one day sweep past, wiping away all the man's tracks. Nearly every footprint was stamped full of the fury that filled him. That humble youth faded away with the flames into yesterday. The first ray of light to pierce the long night was brought by the burning man. But the body that bore the weight of the world was forged by the fires of wrath. Rage is a crafty emotion. It changes its face, concealing itself within the man's life. His friend fought blood-soaked battles, so their people would need fight no longer. But every victory in battle he gained left him neither satisfied nor proud, only with the indifference of emptiness.
You must be careful. Duty does not drive you to wield your blade, but hate.
His teacher kindly reminded him thus.
And behind that hatred, you seem to desire the destruction of the self.
But what about his joy? Was that too merely a phony disguise? He who once laughed amidst the crowd, day after day, as though it were second nature. No. Even though he knew not the meaning of love, that happy past was not a lie someone wove. But now, even those memories have melted into fury. His hatred is such that he cannot hold on to what he cherishes, though all is precious to him. Fueled with lone courage, he attempted to resist fate. But the burning sun that shines upon all creatures, once fallen, will incinerate the land, becoming golden death. But what of his sorrow? Indeed, the man could shed no tears. But at the moment the cycle manifested, when all that was familiar was now remote, the world collapsed, becoming empty in an instant. But the stabbing pain in the man's heart, was it but the residual warmth of his wrath? The truth no longer important. The man simply took another step forward. He wasn't willing to believe it, but was willing to acknowledge it.
There is no need to question your heart. No need to crave victory. If I am born to be a vessel of sin, then I shall roar at evil, and together with it burn.
In the endless cycles, there were some moments when the man felt everything dissolve like a dream. In that dream, he would awaken again and become once more the boy who loved to laugh. But were he to open his eyes, the fury would cast a shadow. He saw the creators choke his throat, gurgling and gasping. And in that boundless dream, he mistook them for his own jest. But their true forms were violent hatred towards the creators, towards himself, a roaring inferno. The prophecy departed. Amphorius was unable to usher in the dawn. What rises in the distance is not the morning sun, but a ball of all-devouring fire, setting the universe in conflagration, searing till the end of time. On the day that the grove fell, he accepted his defeat and demise, as if embracing truth and heresy.
Believe in Titans, and you'll have a happy death. Deny the Titans, and you'll have a fulfilling death.
Yet as the lightened soul bids farewell to its heavy shell, a Titan made an untimely call.
Do not be startled, child of humanity. You have a final query in this world.
You finally came.
He does not seem shocked, and lets the core flame take over his shell.
Be more punctual next time, if you will.
Upon his first meeting with the Titan, the blasphemer is already on his best behavior. And towards the suggestion to reforge his body, he paid no mind.
I have so kindly offered you the best body. So why do you insist upon your mortal imperfection?
The scholar replies in candor.
Only Only by retaining the various flaws can my humanity be preserved in rigor.
His form remains in the mortal realm, while his spirit walks the river of soul shores. Between life and death, he fatigues, dwelling in the child of humankind's thoughts and senses. The Titan cannot bear to remain a mere spectator.
Why not ask me your questions, child of humanity? I am rich in wisdom, and shall speak with no ambiguity.
As though an unspoken pact, the scholar asked the god about all things, feigning a humble quest for knowledge.
Do you treat me just as a way to answer questions? A mere machine?
The Titan got what they asked for.
You should thank me, for good questions are rarer than good answers.
Compared to the joy of a new life, the scholarly breakthrough, carried home alongside death, filled the scholar's heart with more fervor. He returned to the Scourged Grove many times, and the Black Tide followed. Despite his defeats, he never sought help or permission. But at every desperate moment, the Titan would eventually take over one half of his body. The union of man and god, a flawed and clumsy choreography. It happened but once, a perfect harmony. One man, one god, speaking in one breath.
Stop stepping forward at the same time as me.
The Titan once revealed the secrets of mixing life. A boon seemingly a blessing, but full of malice.
What a tempting bait. But that's not my desired chalice.
Divine power is within his reach, but the scholar is not moved by that essence. This long and abnormal temptation is also a trial of elevation. For the sage can achieve all things, but shortcuts alone he abhors with silence.
Teacher, in this tumultuous world, have you thought about your will?
It was just a joke, but the scholar still at the grove answered with extreme caution. He has much to say about his posthumous affairs, exhausting all, fearing the smallest omission.
Teacher, could it be that you fear death?
The assistant asks in concern. It was a question needed, yet he gave no direct reply.
Philosophy is the inquiry into death, and I have always considered myself a philosopher.
The assistant recounts all the scholar's final wishes, each mighty as a mountain, asking what seemed impossible.
The tombstone must be made of my treasured rare stones, carved with Droma's patterns.
But that stone is a miracle of alchemy. Tough beyond measure, no chisel could have shaken.
That's also his plan.
The assistant softly reveals the hidden plot.
He hopes that instead of shedding tears over his death, we will find it in us to smile, even in a moment of sorrow.
It's rumored that in the depths of the grove, the scholar left a teaching ingenium, imitating himself to the utmost detail.
Go back. The living have not exhausted their thoughts. Go back The dead have no desire to teach their works.
The Ingenium's words are cold and detached, like the deceased man himself.
But if you have no one to talk to, fine. You can sit and converse.
Now, the grove is no longer bustling, and the scholar has returned to dust. Thus, few in this world now know how he was also troubled by solitude in life. Someone once suggested,
Perhaps your ambition should also find its place among your final wishes.
Pointless notion.
he dismissed in derision.
Unveiling the countenance of the gods is a task for the living.
Perhaps that is his haughty position. Such a melancholy topic, yet he insists on feigning a twist, avoiding it altogether. Perhaps these chapters should not be retained. Most are from the scholar's handwritten drafts, shown without his permission. Yet there seems to be a voice there in remonstration.
It's just the past. What harm is there in revelation?
Even in passing, his hubris still resounds in reverberation.
The smaller a thing is, the more it shows its weight. The more foolish my name is, the more glory my achievements will be in comparison.
As always, to perceive the man's fury, one must do so 7,000 paces away. The Kremnos he guards is once again shrouded by mist. Rust, blood, and fire are the ceremonial ode to the demigod. There is no one to witness or to give cheers of glory. The final Kremnos festival goes on without end. The victor shall embrace death and silence, and his glory will only be remembered by the defeated array. For that man, laws and seals no longer have meaning. War and battle never cease for a single minute, each passing day indistinguishable, morning and night entwined. The corpses pile up, filling ravines, forming mountains strong. He carved time with peak's edge, and counted the fleeting years by fires of war. Sometimes the lion would climb to the hilltop, to look down on the world and search for friends in longing. The distant heavens and earth stretched vast and boundless, but their endlessness felt ever more remote. Like Nikador, he cannot escape madness's clutches. Guarding the city alone and embroiled in war, the murmurs of the Black Tide constantly sound in his ears. Yet a flame soars up his chest every moment, casting a light upon the indomitable path behind him. Memories seal the echoes of the past as the man strides into battle, fists clenched fast. He is the wound this world must bear, the new king before whom old gods despair. As stated in Idonia's poems, humans are born with eyes closed to accustom to this world's light, and their sight fades in old age to reacquaint with night's anthems. But the man did not bow to the decay of time, rejecting the lure of death's call. each return from the brink of death, his eyes burn with fury, fixed upon his foes, until everything suddenly faded away, like a surging black tide, swallowing all into nothingness. The world dissipates in the roiling black tide's requiem. Even the lion will one day die, a departure with no way back. With a sudden fall, his pierced chest hits the ground, and slowly flowing into the underworld is his golden blood departing his system. But that gaze, fierce as flame, never dimmed, not even in death. Looking beyond those flame-seeking figures, reaching far toward the endless horizon. In the morrow's sky, the stars will chant. The lone king of Kremnos is called Mighty. His journey was one of ceaseless, eternal warfare. And behind him, he left a world ablaze with glory. The two girls frolicked in the wheat fields, fleet as doe deer, making ripples in the shallow puddles and pools clear. As dusk approaches, the exhausted girls collapse over the wheat heaps, talking about their longings and dreams of literature, love, and a journey through a world dear.
Oh, Sky, slow your closing gaze. How I want to keep this moment in my hands forevermore.
On that day, the breeze was warm and gentle. At that time, death was soft and fair. The broken-winged butterfly falls by the window, bringing with it a scent of melancholy. The girl looks outside. The golden wheat fields rolled endlessly, stretching to the horizon. Holding to the chair, she tries to stand, only to find her legs trembling and feeble.
Don't worry, Alexia.
Her older sister whispers beside her ear, and on her sister's shoulder, the girl weeps mournfully. And time thus becomes silent, painted with sighs only. When hearing the healer's diagnosis, the girl remained deathly still. Her eyes were already drained of tears, and her heart a wilted grave.
Every time she has something on her mind, she would tilt her head and look outside.
Her sister follows her gaze, seeing a barren field turned by wind into a desolate gray expanse. Till one day, when the girl looks outside, she sees a dash of dark blue, most brave.
It's a flower my sister planted.
Like the torrential river of life, it pours into the depths of her heart. The flower is called Antilla. Even in the Netherland, it's rumored to thrive.
You are the quiet in my heart, amidst the chaotic choreography.
That seems to be its floriography. When the days are warm, the sister would take the girl on long journeys, through the flower fields, gazing upon rivers, napping amongst the grove. A discussion hearty.
After I die, I want to become an Antilla flower and become the quietness in your soul.
A thoughtless word from the girl, gains her a wrapping on her forehead most dainty.
Do not speak of dusk when you have yet to see the dawn.
Dew drops from the petals as wind pulls on the leaves, and the two of them sit in quietude. The girl asks for the means to tend the garden, and while her sister sounds concerned, her heart is relieved. But the concern is well-founded. The girl tripped and fell into a mire. She gazed directly into the eyes of death, in that dark pool bottom unperceived.
I've been the weight upon my sister's wings. Let this be where it all comes to rest.
The girl gives up her struggles, only to see a figure pierce through the water's surface.
I won't allow you to walk through the dusk alone, or enter the night of no reprieve.
Her sister sobs without end, and the girl has to gently hug her and softly relieve. And then, this distant memory turns bleary, difficult to retrieve. The river of souls flows to the other side, wrapped in the land's night. Broad, slow, an eternal and silent sight. It belongs to all in this world that has life, all of which flows downstream, converging as one. The master of the Netherrealm, Thanatos, enshrouds themselves and the souls within the moon cocoon. The dragon, born from the cocoon, carries the girl, soaring upstream the river of souls, defying its eternal flow. Their connection flows tighter than blood, and the key that opens the Netherworld's gates is the sisters' selfish plight. Back then, the boreal winds cut through to the bone. Back then, death was a bitter and stabbing friend. In the Netherrealm, without an earth or sky, a flower named Antilla blooms, its beauty witnessed by but one soul.
You are the quiet in my heart, amidst the chaotic choreography.
The younger sister scores through the blooming Antilla fields, never finding that promised dark blue sprig. She silently made up her mind.
Death, leave all your dark nights to me, and save the dawns for her.
The younger sister gazes at the moon cocoon high above, and plans a trip to the mortal realm, a distant flurry. A bard once sung to musical notes.
Do not turn back. Oh, do not turn back. The long hand of shadow will retain the dead behind their gates.
The giant dragon born from the moon cocoon willingly offered itself as the enduring barge of the River of Souls.
No need to turn back. Oh, no need to turn back. That price had long been paid for you by someone else.
The dragon lowers its long neck and places the girl on its back. In slumber, she will unknowingly greet the dawn of her rebirth. The dragon flaps its wings in the chilly gloom of the floating dead upstream, ferrying from purity into grime, going from silence into roaring boom. The souls of countless poets flounder past, their distant rhymes endless like foams.
Do not turn back, for to look
itself, turning back.
In this pale dawn, the sun's first rays light the night ablaze. So the dragon crosses the Sea of Souls onto the shores of life and strands itself in the gleam. We know not where these stories arise. They are scattered across the shallows with the waves. The confession the girl made before her departure still echoes in the tide's heaves.
If there is anything for me to leave behind, may it find a soul to remember. This is the ode of my life, and I've already penned my last stroke.
If every single scar equals a coin, then the girl, always pursued, would be worth her weight in gold. Deception, theft, and night heists, but her nerves failed her when it mattered most. The girl clutches meager loot to her chest and escapes, muttering curses bearing her pain.
We're head on. I definitely win next time.
She always longs for the coin of Whimsy's blessing and creed. Yet the coin in the air always suddenly disappears, as if in reply from the trickery type. Day and night flow, and the thief star makes circles across the sky, while time molds the girl into an adult. The cloak, once used to conceal her entire body, now only suffices as a hood that barely covers her fringe.
No matter. These days, I have no need to hide.
With a confident stride and a silver tongue, her perfected fraud, thieving every opportunity as a result. And at curtainfall hour, those treasure-seeking steps fade into the moonlight. When she appears again, her arms are laden with money's weight. What is the art of thieving?
Stealing from the poor. Not enough loot. Stealing from the rich. That's a boring task to boot.
The girl narrows her eyes of greed towards those called the Chrysos heirs. The golden vines of the sages' homes, the sacred carcass of the Deathward realm, the divine lyre of the seashore's pearl, and the crystal chalice of the thousand gates. The girl knows not the treasure's origins, only that they are all valuable beyond measure.
To have something priceless is the true art of thieving.
A pity that deceits are all eventually revealed, and the thief meets a rare defeat. A golden thread discerns her meticulous disguise, and the heroes hold down her third hand to imprison in this thief star made of human feet.
I take defeat with my head held high. Spare me your sympathy.
She frankly faces the accusations, knowing that escaping would be nothing more than child's play. So the Chrysos heir outside the cage smiles sweet.
Would you like to see my most precious?
A treasure bride?
It is a dress, like the beauty god Nestia's divine body. More blinding than the sun, rivaling the moon in its glory.
It is woven by divine threads.
It captivates even the gods.
But all the lies and deceit are golden threads query.
The world-famous thief is stirred by such grand words into a flurry.
Then just you watch This wondrous dress will forever remain in my own gallery.
This is an age of ruin. The Chrysos War ignites once more, while Zagreus' taunts ripple through the city streets. This is also an age of splendor. 300 thieves spring forth from Dolos, each scheming to conceal the truth from prying eyes, robbing the rich to give succor to the poor.
Every one of them deceives gods and men alike, righteous and valiant.
The Flame Chase journey has been cut short midway. Yet the girl pounds her chest at the Gold Weaver, not afraid.
The core flame of trickery is near. If now isn't the time to risk it all, then when?
The prophecy reveals the Titan's trail. Golden threads bind the fleeing god of thieves. The young girl flashed a grin and walked towards the god who was pretending to smile.
I once vowed to the god of thieves that I would force trickery to reap what they have sown.
The Titan whispered from the vortex, the god of trickery's earnest plea. They made a promise to the girl who entered the trial, that the whole world would be bathed in light. No more lies and deceit. The young girl recalled the hearth fire of her childhood.
Sephiroth, only honesty is well liked.
She pursed her lips.
That does sound like quite the ideal society. Of course I didn't accept. How boring would a world without deception be?
The young girl demonstrated her newly acquired divine power, molding lies into reality.
The defeated Titan is now not but a wandering soul.
But somewhere far away, a purple spirit thief opened bleary eyes. They had forgotten their previous life as a Titan, and remembered only the girl's crafty message.
Go! Collect treasure, you greedy little brave. Once you regain the memories of trickery from chests, then I will claim the reward for saving your life.
In the days spent away from Akuma, the girl grew accustomed to traveling alone. In a certain city, she heard of a spirit thief. Rumors aplenty.
I, Bartolos, Master Thief, shall take all you labored to gain.
So saying, the spirit thief steals the girl's coin pouch and fled without a trace. But a gust of wind brushed past, and the girl had already caught them.
Running for it? Your life was saved by my trickery, you know.
The old god and the new finally reunite. The two rivals who, from that moment on, became thieves and companions both. It's just that the spirit thief's companion was always scaring them.
Hey, the fish in the River of Souls are starving, you know.
A thief reveals a few lies.
The first lie is called Fellow Thieves, come on and deceive gods with me.
The world has already forgotten that feast. Lies unnumbered that drowned the Day of Souls. Schemes uncounted, burning for a night of revelry. 300 thieves shackled in imprisonment in exchange for a Titan's resigned confinement. To have managed to trick the Grand Master of all tricks.
I can die happy now.
This was Dolos' great achievement. The deception of the gods, where even Zagreus was fooled.
The second lie is called... The god of trickery is now not but a wandering soul.
Why did she spare the Titan's life? The young girl knew not, even after asking herself. Was it greed for the treasure they promised? Or had she vaguely perceived their lonely fate?
It's because you're every bit as despicable as I am. It's such a relief not having to deal with the noble.
The girl dismissed and made light of herself, only forgetting trickery was once a god that supported the world.
The third lie is called... Oh, eternal day! Endlessly illuminate the holy city.
At Dawncloud, the chaplain's secrets foretold the coming of that endless night.
But if my lies are more sophisticated, can the dawn last forever? No end in sight?
Bearing the fate of the Thief Star, the girl was long used to walking in shadow. But as she gazed towards the holy city's dawn, her duty became fixed in her heart, stalwart in might.
The fourth lie is called... There's no reason! I just don't want to see you again!
The girl tried to mask her nonchalance, but could never fool the Golden Thread's questions. But it is the false-hearted malice that most powerfully forces belief. A true flame chase hero willingly faded from attention, while the wayfaring traveler grasped tight onto fleeting light. She used divine power to forge a mask and conceal the last of her true heart.
The fifth lie is called... No. There are... no more... lies... left.
The whimsical coin fell to the ground, telling the tale of fate fulfilled. Travels unwitnessed, roses unknown. To whom may these now be told? Lies are always but lies, but you can make them more beautiful than the truth. Under the somber sky, golden blood soaked the thief's cloak. Like a golden thread tailored just for her, an exquisite robe that she never stole.